Ya estamos de regreso aquí en el Camino por Reactor 105. Tenemos invitados. Ya tuvimos chance de platicar con ellos. Están muy emocionados. Good Kid en cabina. Guys, sorry for the early show, for the early waking up. So, thank you so much for being here. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm John. I'm the drummer of Good Kid, and happy to be here so early. It's great to start the day early anyways.
Nice.
That's right. I'm Michael, and we just came back from Europe, and we're properly jet-lagged, and this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Hola, me llamo David. I'm the guitar player in Good Kid, and it is early.
I hate you guys. Good Kid está aquí en cabina. Van a estar presentándose el 12 de octubre en el Foro Puebla. Y platicando un poco fuera del aire. Guys, talking of air, there's a perfect mix between all your music library. We start talking about Godspeed You Black Emperor, Dance Mood, Mimi's Delivery Service. This is a fast song. So how do you choose in the early days of the band to pick your essence, your main sound? How is this mix of ideas to choose the right sound to the project?
There were two directions we could have gone early on. When we went in to record our first song, Nomu, that wasn't the only song we had written. We actually had a song that it's now out called Ground, and also Alchemist. So we had some sort of like ideas of what we wanted to be. But our singer Nick, for example, is much more heavily into like folk, and he does things like a lot of Irish music and things that are a lot more like string based. So there is a world where we go in and we record Ground, and Ground is our first song. And then suddenly we're kind of a weird country band, but we chose the faster indie rock sounding song Nomu because I think it aligned more with the rest of the band, and we liked it. It was catchy, and ever since then we've sort of followed that same path.
But also over time, like all of our influences pull the band in different directions in a good way. Like when people ask like what kind of music do you play, I usually say we play fast-paced indie rock with influences from pop punk and Japanese rock. And the reason we say that is because like our guitarist Jacob, he plays so much J-rock at home, and then Nick, his vocals kind of sound a little bit like Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco, so we got the pop punk influence. Yeah. And then I grew up listening to like Two Door Cinema Club and lots of indie rock, so we kind of pull in all these directions, and that's sort of like defined our sound.
Yeah, definitely. It comes out in the writing process where there's 5 of us in the band, and the writing process is very democratic. So somebody will bring like a skeleton of the song, and then we'll all kind of add to it and debate it, usually for a year or two, quite a long time. And that's when I think all of our different musical perspectives kind of diverge it in many directions. But the 5 of us also have so much in common musically that converges us into like a natural place, which is where our sound comes out.
The fattest country band in the world.
Yeah.
No, nos cuentan un poco de cómo fue escoger el sonido entre escoger este folk como irlandés, cuerdas, acústicos y demás, todo empaparse entre Tudor Cinema Club, Panic at the Disco y un poco de J-Rock y J-Pop, fue lo que fue forjando el proyecto, fue forjando la música.
And talking a little bit about the process of the creations of your songs, you told us a little bit about how you write the songs, but how you make them sound like music. How is the process on the studio of not just having a skeleton, but creating the sound for that particular songs?
Oh, you go.
Well, okay, so we have in our band, everybody kind of does writing, and we bring a skeleton or some ideas. But a lot of the time, like the defining parts about our music, honestly, when I think about it, a lot of it is guitar stuff. So like there's a very specific guitar style, like playing style and recording style. And so it comes from Jacob and David, who play guitar. And then when we go into the studio in the production process, we've worked with the same producer for 10 years, and he really knows our sound. And we do a lot of experimenting and stuff, but it really, I think he nailed like the Good Kid recording process.
Yeah, I think the guitars, when we started, there was dueling Telecasters, and we were inspired by bands like Block Party, and they kind of have that sound. And I really love how David and Jacob they like switch between playing chords and harmonies and playing melodies that interweave between each other. And I think that sort of thing, naturally pushed us in some direction. And as we like debate about parts and we'll naturally like rewrite each other's parts, everyone has like some ownership of their own part, but at the same time, it's very democratic. And if anyone can like ask to change somebody else's part to line up with here. And I think, just like the natural us figuring out what we truly want in the song and like being honest about what the five of us actually want it to sound and how it feels for each of us, trying to find that like compromise is how like it naturally comes out and sounds that way.
Yeah, below the line, you choose these 2000 indie bands to like inspiration. That's pretty cool. Nos mencionan que pues para un proceso de crear una canción se junta la guitarra, siempre sacan el esqueleto en la guitarra, tienen sus Telecaster, usan la referencia de Block Party, de como plática entre guitarras y sobre eso el sonido hasta que cuadre algo que les guste de manera democrática y con eso empiezan a desarrollarlo. Guys, there's a huge void between the ages here in Reactor. Chloe is 22 years old. I'm 36 years old. I'm not a TikTok guy anymore. So, but I truly believe that this kind of new ways of communication bring us a lot of opportunities of music. So, Good Kid has a lot of TikTok videos. So, how do you choose when you start working on the studio and then in this democratic way you find the perfect sound of the perfect song? So how do you choose to develop to bring us this kind of music? You always have this marketing plan on please choose TikTok or only put it in TikTok and let us free and see what happens.
I don't think we think about it as much as like, what are the TikToks we need to create? Whenever we release a song, we see it as an opportunity to do something really, really fun with the song, to engage our fans. So like one time when we were releasing music, we on our Discord designed a whole ARG. It's like a augmented reality game, and we got everybody to for 3 days solve a murder mystery, or not murder mystery, just a mystery, a scavenger hunt on Discord with us. And basically, we really like the idea of getting creative anytime we release anything, and anytime we release a song, we also work with our artists to like come up with new characters, new artwork, because our artwork features like characters that we develop. And I think the TikTok stuff a lot of the time is just like all the fun things we end up doing. They just get filmed and end up on TikTok. For example, like in our shows, we do lots of really fun, like chaotic things, and somebody will happen to film it, and it creates great content. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely when we think about how we're showcasing the band and being on social media or TikTok, it's more so that we're trying to capture content that's very like candid and genuine. And it's just kind of us being ourselves. And one thing we tried to do as we moved on was make an effort to just capture all, like, have cameras rolling and be more like candid and available to just be like, hey, this is who we are. And then later we have like all this stuff that's just like, we have all this content and we can capture the moments that we think are like really interesting or like really showcase who we are.
But also David here is very funny. So
David is hilarious.
It's all made in-house too. Like we have G, our content creator manager, who like helps us put together, like edits all the videos with us. But we get together on weekends, we like plan it all out, and it's not always a success. Like a lot of the videos we put out there that we think are gonna do well don't do well at all. And we are like getting together a lot, and it is like the Charlie Day, you know, the meme of like the with the string. And the, yeah. It's like a lot of us trying to figure out like what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. What ends up working is always the thing we least expect to work. So G will put together like she's like, well, I'm actually just gonna make an anime FMV with the lyrics to our songs, and then that ends up blowing up on TikTok because people love this anime, like Scott Pilgrim and all these different genres that we naturally just already love, just as people, not just as musicians. Like we just love all these different media spheres, and so now that kind of translates across TikTok and Instagram, and that's, I think, more where we find success. It's just like being ourselves and connecting our music with things that we love and that we know other people love as well.
very demure, very mindful.
But David is very funny. And
Nos dicen que pues, utilizan obviamente cualquier medio de redes sociales para comunicar, pero que la clave es ser auténtico. De repente cuando hacen todas las cosas forzadas son las que no pegan, pero se juntan a alguna tendencia, algo que les gusta, y es lo que los ha ayudado a distribuirse de manera pues chida entre redes sociales.
We love it when the bands create like a universe and they don't only stick to their music, but they create like a visual or a interactive experience. And I want to ask you guys, like, as people, as you mentioned, what other forms of media had you inspired, like movies, series, books? I don't know. I want to know about that.
I think we're definitely inspired by all sorts of media. All of us play video games, and I find video games to be a very big source of inspiration, both in like how video games act as a medium for storytelling. There's a lot of games with great storylines. They're also great for collaboration. Like on the plane ride over here, Michael and I were playing Cuphead.
Nice.
We were playing the same boss for a very long time because that game's difficult.
The first one.
Michael's doing the dragon one for a while. We're on the pirate one right now. But I find, not only do I gain inspiration from video games, all the artwork, all the music in it, and how they fit together. When we play video games collaboratively, it's an opportunity to, the same way that we have to solve problems while we're songwriting, we also have to solve problems in a different medium. Like, how do we collaborate together? How do we fight together? Yeah. You have to fight the song to figure out how to do that.
When we were just starting the band, I think like the very first CD I've ever owned was the first Gorillaz album. And I loved how important the characters that they designed were for that band. And so when we were thinking about like, what our branding is going to be, what our visuals are going to be, I was really pushing for working with an illustrator and designing characters. And we ended up working with a childhood friend, Gabriel Altros, who actually lives in Mexico right now, and he's going to be at the pop-up with us soon. And he designed this character that sort of like we've been developing for like 9 years now. And there's the character Nomu, and there's other characters, Mimi, Gentoo, and Gorillaz definitely are an inspiration, but also we're taking it to a different place where we're building stories with those characters.
Nos cuentan un poco que entre videojuegos, ilustración, el primer disco de Gorillaz, pues de ahí se toman como referencia para, fuera de la música, tener un poco de inspiración en lo que hacen. Talking about this pop-up store, I really love the bands that put this big energy, not only in the music, in the merch, in the character. So tell us a little bit about how do you choose the merch? How do you choose how to put this character on these T-shirts, in these prints? So it's a pretty cool way because you're a huge fan, and bringing us to the fan, it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. How do you choose this merch, and how this idea of the pop-up store came alive?
I think a lot of it comes directly from the fans. We have a really, really amazing Discord server where a lot of the times, Jacob's doing a lot of our merch work, and he'll go directly to our audience and ask them like, hey, what do you guys like out of these options? Like, we crowdsource, we make sure that like we're checking in with people, and we hear a lot of recommendations from people saying like, oh, I would really love a pin, a button. We'd love to see like Good Kid socks, backpack. We've always wanted to, for example, like the pop-up we're doing today, we finally got these, like, it's so hard to make a toy, but we finally found a way to get like an actual Nomu toy, and there's a very limited number of them because of how hard it is to manufacture these, but like just little things like that. And that a lot of that does come directly from fans who say like, we want these things because we love the characters, we want to be able to like have more of those characters.
Yeah, especially I love our Discord server. As a band, that's the main way we communicate as well with the 5 of us. We have our own Discord server. So it was natural when we created one with our fan base. And I think, one thing I'm really grateful for is how collaborative this sort of process is. At times when we're creating merch, we'll like post prototypes, and we'll post different color schemes, and we'll get people to vote on it and be like, what do you think of this? Like, would you wear this? Do you think this fits with this sort of thing? And we're always active on there, talking to people and listening to their feedback about, hey, they would like a figurine would be really great, or like one merch item that I would really like to make is beach towels, and I've heard that a few times that would be something that we would like to create.
So I think like the guys talked about like how we decide what type of merch elements to make, but as far as like what is the content, like what do the characters do and what are the stories we tell? Because in our merch it's art, and we do it just like we do every other collaboration. We find artists that we admire and then we just let them cook. So Gabriel Altros is our long-term collaborator. We tell him we kind of have this vague idea of this character doing this. Send it off to him. He comes back with something amazing. It's literally the same process as we do for music videos and for album art.
It's so cool to really catch and read and feel the vibe of the fans and have this crew that it's all the confidence and the true meaning of a way of working. Like, I have this idea, bring it out. So it's very difficult to have a teamwork working on that, and congratulations of that. The fans is requesting a Good Kid thong.
Okay. We'll contact Gabe. We'll start working on it.
Nos dicen que le ponen mucho atención al Discord y a los fans, y con eso nace la merch. Tiene una pop-up store en la cual hay un juguete de edición limitada porque es bien difícil. Así que ustedes, si son fans, láncense a la pop-up store a adquirirlo porque esto es una joyita.
You guys were mentioning that this is the first time that Good Kid is here in Mexico.
Woo!
So I want you guys to talk us a little bit about what can we expect from this concert, and in what mindset someone should go to your show.
So this is our first time ever playing in Mexico in general, not just Mexico City, and the excitement that we feel for this show is like pretty unparalleled. Like we the first time when we were very, very small, this was like 8 or 9 years ago, we weren't really a band at all. We were just sort of starting out. We had one song out, Nomu. Our first ever fan base group that started on Instagram was based in Mexico City. It was called Good Kid Band AF.
Good Kid Fan Base AF.
Yeah. And we loved this group. They were posting updates about us, and we were just like, we were not a big band at all. And when we saw that, it was the most exciting, like, validating feeling of like, oh, there's people out there who really like what we're doing, and it really motivated us to keep going. It motivated us to write more music and push forward as a band. And now it's been, 9 years later, we finally are able to come to Mexico City and play for hopefully the fans that have been here all that time enjoying our music, and getting to play for them is such a cool experience. So I don't know, tomorrow night, hopefully it doesn't go to my head. I don't get too nervous, but like I think it's going to be like
Too late.
it's just going to be
Too late.
a big energy show.
We've been begging our management to help us figure out how to play in Mexico. We always really wanted to be here, and so this time we convinced them to come here right after our European tour, which from any like logistical and financial sense made no sense. It was very hard to get here, but we made it here. We had to figure out kind of like, okay, what can we cut in order to like not lose all the money in the world coming here. And I think the show we're gonna play tomorrow is gonna be the most punk rock show we can do, because it's really gonna be just like no click, no like a lot of the usual elements that we have, they're not here because we just needed to get us here to be able to play. And I'm actually really excited. I think the energy is gonna be like the hypest we've had in a really long time.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be the energy of an old Good Kid show when we were just learning stuff and trying to be loud and fast and like pump as much of us as we could into it, but at a larger venue. And it's kind of like we've done this tour and played all these shows, and now that we're in Mexico, it's time to tear all that down and just be ourselves on stage. And
I have a question actually for you guys. What if we go off stage, we finish the set, is there anything we should be listening for? Because in Canada, we hear one more song, please, and it's very important. Is there anything we should listen out for in case we don't hear it?
We start yelling, otra. And this is the
So that doesn't
it's
mean
anchor. It's
that
anchor.
doesn't mean no more songs.
No.
Then I'll be like, okay.
Again.
No, if fans are hating you, that is not the case. It's like only whistling, like Ya bájense. That,
Oh, no.
it's not the case. But
Okay.
you're fully success if the band start yelling otra,
Okay.
otra is one more song. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so be prepared because otra it's gonna happen
Hell yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Let's go.
Baba's shop.
Yeah.
It's the pop-up store.
Yeah.
Because there's fans writing us about the address, the price of the toy, and one of Roy told us, please tell Good Kid that tomorrow I'm going to see the show with my twin brother. My twin brother is a huge fan of you guys.
Amazing. So if we see two identical looking people,
And yeah,
we know
is
we,
one,
we were searching.
is one twin not a fan? Are they both fans?
I believe yeah, but because the other twin brother start writing like, finally, Good Kid in Reactor. I'm very, very glad. I always recommend it with my friends and in the radio station. It's fully complete the circle because it's a huge fan. So
thank you.
So
only
nice.
it's the task to identify what's the twin brother of its huge fan and the other one no.
Yeah, we'll do some questioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, we can start talking a lot. It's a very pleasure to have you, Good Kid here in Mexico. Two last questions. How the fans and the no fans can search your job, how's your social media and that?
We're a Good Kid band on everything. You should join our Discord because it's just really fun and you'll make friends.
Oh,
And
we have a Spanish channel in Discord as well for general/ES for Espanol, and a lot of our Spanish friends hang out there and just chat about not just Good Kid but just life and music and yeah.
and we do Duolingo, so we'll we'll be there too.
Please don't skip Duolingo today. So. And you are the main head of the Spanish Discord channel.
Oh, barely.
Nah.
mi español de Duolingo, so I can
Yeah, I'd say it's David.
No, I can say things like nosotros queremos manzanas, but when do I need to know that?
Yeah. But you don't die starving in Mexico. So
No, not
yeah.
yet.
Guys,
Yeah,
thank you so much for your time. One last question. Describe me Good Kid in 3 words.
Ooh,
Fast.
that was mine. Banger, banger, banger.
Ay. I don't know.
3 words.
There we go.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. Tomorrow at Foro Puebla, it's a punk rock show.
It's a punk rock show.
Punk rock.
Nice.
Will be.
So, Mimi's delivery service, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please introduce the song.
Yeah, this is Mimi's delivery service. We worked so hard on this song. Hope you like it. It's fast. It's indie punk. It's got elements of J-rock in there as well that we love. Yeah, it's our favorite.
Good Kid en la casa y regresamos.